patreon.com/subscribe. Hello, Tongayi.
Hello, Anita. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time to do this interview with me. At first, please introduce yourself to our listeners. Who are you? What are you doing? What's your education?
Well, my name is Tongayi Choto. I'm from Zimbabwe. That's where I am right now in Harare. I'm a software developer and an entrepreneur. I graduated 2015 from the University of Zimbabwe. I was doing computer science and maths. So since then, that's when I just found out about blockchain, Bitcoin, and cryptocurrencies. And I was at a stage where I was trying to figure out what do I do next with my career, with my education. Then I found out about Bitcoin, and it just made sense for me to use this technology. It was so amazing. I remember that night I didn't go to bed. I had to read and read and read, and it was so amazing to me. And since then, that's the space I've been working, developing different projects, different use cases for cryptocurrency. So right now, my latest startup is called AfriBlocks. AfriBlocks is a global Pan-African freelance network, and it's one of the projects that I'm doing to try to use technology, emerging technologies, to use blockchain and cryptocurrency to solve problems that we see every single day.
Let's talk about these problems you see every day. Can you tell us a little bit about that, and how could blockchain or Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies solve that?
I would like to talk about the problem that I'm trying to solve at the moment. In Zimbabwe, basically, we have a population of about 16 million people. And in Africa as a whole, about 1.3 billion people. And from that 1.3, about 60% is under the age of 25. And Africa is seen as the youngest continent in the world. When I look at this, I see so much potential that is not being given enough opportunities, enough resources, enough jobs. Because, for example, in Zimbabwe, we have about a 95 to 98% literacy rate. And we're people who work hard, we're people who have skills, graphics designers, software developers, and all that, but we do not have enough opportunities. And the formal jobs are not available. So a lot of people are unemployed formally. So I say to myself, why can we not create a global Pan-African freelance network? And the goal of this platform is to firstly, we vet people. We look for freelancers, we vet them, we train them how to communicate internationally, meeting deadlines, all that. And we place them on our platform. The idea being, if you, Anita, need a website done, we can get you someone to do it. If you need graphics design, all that, we can give you people who can do that. And people are actually paid for services. So we're not saying just give us money for no reason at all. We're saying we're people who are qualified, skilled, and talented, and all we need are these jobs, all we need are opportunities, and we get on with it. So yeah, that's the major problem I was trying to solve, because what it does is it gives people jobs, it gives people foreign currency. And if you look at the whole world right now, there are a lot of different platforms, freelance platforms. And if you look at the world, like, people are actually moving from day jobs to actually working from home. We've seen right now, it's crazy, but the coronavirus has got all of us working from home. So I saw this as an opportunity to create a global platform for Africans, for people who live and work outside Africa, the African diaspora, even African Americans, because most of our clients we've been having right now are from America. They were saying, you know what, this is amazing. We want to support. I need this done. Then we get the job done for them. So that's That's the problem that I was trying to solve. And basically because I've been in the cryptocurrency space and the blockchain space, we are looking to use things like smart contracts, payment systems to make this a global success.
So you've built a marketplace in a way where people from abroad can work together with African freelancers, people who do like programming or writing or graphic design. Is the connection to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies the one that people from abroad then can pay people in Africa with cryptocurrencies?
What was going on is we had issues with payments. Because locally, for example, in Zimbabwe and I actually checked Russia as well, there are a lot of countries that PayPal is not available in. And most clients in the US would pay using PayPal. So it would bring a challenge for me to be able to pay people here this side. Cryptocurrencies were one of the ways that our clients would say, I have cryptocurrency, can I pay you using that? And because I've been in this space, I would say, you know what, it's okay since the money is on the US side, for example, and in Zimbabwe, we can just still pay people in US dollars because that's what's legal in Zimbabwe. We do not, as a platform, we try to follow rules and regulations in each and every country. Because right now we have about 7 countries, African countries, people have registered as freelancers on our platform. So, for example, in Namibia, South Africa, Botswana, Uganda, we use the regulations that are stated in that country. So, payments were one of the things that we still are solving to make sure that everything makes sense.
You started to talk about smart contracts before. In which context do smart contracts stand with AfriBlocks? With
AfriBlocks, right now we did a pilot for a 1-year period to try to prove the business model, like to see does this work and to try to identify issues that we might need to solve and all that. And one of the things that's the lowest hanging fruit, everyone understands a freelancer, everyone understands a client and a job, and everyone is clear what they're paying for and what they are being paid for. The bigger vision that I have to eventually start to decentralize bit by bit, this will take time because I've been in the space for a while. I don't want to create hype. I want to build the product first, then start to add on components, be it artificial intelligence, to make this platform work more efficiently. So smart contracts is something that I've been personally interested in. And if you look at it, there's in this model, there's a client, there's a freelancer, they agree on the job that's being done, they agree on the time it's going to take, they agree on the payments that need to be made. It's one of the things that we're looking into, not now, but we have an R&D research department that's looking into it to see how can we integrate all these components to make the platform more efficient. If it's the contract that says the job is done, then funds are released. Probably funds are in an escrow first. If the client is not happy, funds may be returned to them. All of those issues. But smart contracts do take time to make sure that you have solved each and every issue. Because, once a contract is done, it's done. Yeah, so those are some of the things that we're thinking about.
So you're basically in the research phase at the moment for these things. But clients could already engage freelancers to work with them. That's a great opportunity for people and companies from abroad to support African entrepreneurs, Zimbabwean entrepreneurs to earn some money. What are the obstacles you see for cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin in Zimbabwe? Because I have heard that the government has outlawed the use of Bitcoin. What's your opinion on that?
I do understand how it happened because one of the things that people need to realize is we're a country with actually rules and regulations. We have an RBZ, just like the United States. They have the SEC, the Federal Reserve and all that. So, and what happened was there was this scam that was going on, or calling it triple M, and a lot of people were losing money. And of course, when you lose money, that's when you reach out to the regulator to say to the police, I've lost my money. So the regulator kept having these complaints. And also, as Bitcoin was new at that time, right now it's still new. It's still very new as a technology. It's something that you really need to understand before you say everyone can use it. So as a regulator, in my opinion, I saw them as trying to protect people because I'm a techie person. I know how Bitcoin works. I'm actually a software developer. I know how blockchain, all that works. But for someone to just start to use it today and mistakes to happen, like for example, if you just lose your seed words, you lose all your money. And there's the volatility issue. So those things are only because the technology is still young and it needs to be learned. It needs to be developed in such a way that it becomes scalable. It becomes a technology that everyone can use without the worry of the fact that they don't know. So one of the things that we are doing right now is we're creating what we're calling a freelancer training series, which includes this content, training people on how to use cryptocurrencies. Besides them just learning how to become a freelancer and handle international jobs. We are working on a hub here in Harare. It's almost done. We are opening, I think, if this after this COVID crisis, if it goes away, we'll be opening to teach people on how to use these technologies.
Would you say maybe that if people have enough education and so that they can decide for themselves or estimate, like say, okay, now I understand that this Bitcoin, it's unforgeable and it's not a scheme and I can differentiate it from like M or Onecoin, that then it would be a good possibility for people in Zimbabwe and other countries to really own their money and it can't be censored or taken away. Do you see that as a positive?
Yeah, it's definitely a positive. Like what I was saying, blockchain and cryptocurrencies as a whole, they've gone through a bad phase. I remember there was the time where there were a lot of ICOs. There was a time there were a lot of bitclub, Bitcoin club, this. Then there was a time where people were creating a lot of other currencies and people were trading. They were, mining farms and people were told to pay this and that so that you become part of the mining. Then the volatility itself, I mean, we've seen it go up to 20, to 18 or so, then back down to 3. Then now recently it's going back up. For someone who earns, say, $100 a month, you cannot afford to place money in Bitcoin because you can wake up and you will have lost, say, 15% of its value. So that alone makes it difficult in the sense of Zimbabwe, unless you're able to say you receive it and it's logged into USD, it's logged into another currency. So there's a learning curve. I do think people need to learn about it to know exactly what's going on. And if someone decides to use it, I mean, it's all online. If you get the best wallets and if you understand that you need to keep your seed words, it does give a bit of freedom on your money, which is something that's needed. But they have to be aware of all the risks that are included. As regulators, I've seen about in January, RBZ released a statement that they are learning about blockchain and want to see how they can use it. So again, these are institutions. Things take time. They don't just move and allow everyone to use something that they know will come back to them because now people are losing money, which they do not have. So those are some of the issues that I think.
And now a short word from my sponsors. Not your keys, not your coins. Be the holder of your keys for your Bitcoin. For that, use a well-built hardware wallet like the Bitbox O2 by Shift Crypto Security from Switzerland. With their upcoming app for Android, you can connect the hardware wallet directly with your phone and send and receive Bitcoin on the go. Check it out at shiftcrypto.ch. That's shift, CRYPTO.ch. You get free shipping with the code ANITA. Do you think that the Lightning Network could be a solution in a way? Because then you could have smaller payments, like micropayments, that also could be used by people who earn only like 10 USD or 20 USD per month?
Lightning is really interesting. I experimented with a node here in Zimbabwe, connected with one in Nigeria. The whole goal was to learn, to see how Lightning works. I think I was one of the people who used it like very early stages, and it was only $2, but it was lost in one of the hops, and they were still developing it. But it is really a technology that you can start to use. For example, sometimes we have freelancers in Nigeria and freelancers in South Africa, and if you can use that Lightning network to just send payments, that would be really helpful as well. Again, all of it is really new technology, and part of our R&D, we're really trying to make sure it's airtight before we recommend it to our freelancers, because you gotta know that, like what I was saying, people here will probably a website is about $150, and if you send that to them and it wakes up tomorrow as $130, that's not a good picture, even if everyone understands that Bitcoin is volatile. So all of those issues are some of the things that we try to protect, both our freelancers and our clients. But Lightning Network is really something that I think, especially in terms of payments within Africa, because if we want to make a transfer to, say, Mozambique or Namibia or Botswana, all countries next to Zimbabwe, you do a wire transfer. And this wire transfer goes through what they call the SWIFT system. I'm sure everyone knows the SWIFT, the international SWIFT system. And the funny thing that I realized was those transactions get approved in USA, and then that transaction goes to the country next to Zimbabwe, which to me is like, in this day in 2020, we still get transactions approved all the way in the United States, So some of those things, that's why I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. I'm pro blockchain, because I think eventually this is the future, especially for situations like this where we still have the legacy monetary systems that are really old and problematic.
Did you say before that you set up a Lightning node?
Oh yeah, I think the beginning of last year, we set up a Lightning node. It was just an experimental to see how it works. We got some funds sent from Nigeria. They went through, and I was really a learning curve, learning, how to set up one. And that time it really was, wasn't that easy. Right now it's easier because there are now preset nodes that are already set up. But that time we had to do it from scratch. Like, you set up, you download the blockchain, you sync, you connect to an API and all that. But now it's a bit easier. I think I'll actually try to do it again. Then there was the time people were passing the torch. Yeah, that was also something interesting. Yeah.
And did you also get the torch?
I did not. I was too slow, so it passed by.
Me too. Yeah, exactly. I was also too slow. So you said before, it's important for people also to exchange money to US dollar, to have currency to buy stuff and to pay your rent and to pay food. Do you know Bitrefill? Because with Bitrefill, you can take your Lightning Bitcoin and pay for airtime in Zimbabwe. Do you know that?
Yes, I do. Bitrefill is one of the oldest blockchain Bitcoin startups in use cases. Like, I've used it before to buy airtime. Local Bitcoins is another platform that has been there for a while. Yeah, because we've seen a lot of blockchain, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency startups come and go. But yeah, Bitrefill has been there for a while.
What I learned when I was in Zimbabwe is that people exchange Bitcoin to US dollars in WhatsApp groups and Facebook groups. Is this a thing? I mean, is this a way to cash out money?
Well, yeah, I've seen people do that. I've seen groups, peer-to-peer, WhatsApp groups, but I cannot say I'm an expert or I know much about that.
Another question I have, you seem to have a good internet connection, because otherwise I think you couldn't download the initial blockchain. I think internet connections and packages are very expensive in your country. Is that true?
Yes, they are expensive. Like, they're expensive as compared to other countries. I think it's something as a country that we need to fix, because I don't think data should be that expensive. the thing I mentioned about blockchain, or the blockchain was about 15 gigabytes at that time. And, to wait until, and our connection is a bit expensive. So yeah, that's true. So people tend to use data bundles. That's why WhatsApp is really popular this side, and a bit of Facebook, because it's a bit cheaper than, say, for example, going on YouTube and watching Netflix and all that becomes more expensive.
You said it before. I think you also are in lockdown now because of the coronavirus. Is that true?
Yes, correct. The president gave us a 21-day period to just stay indoors, to try to not get the virus, because although we have about 9 announced or recorded cases here in Zimbabwe, it's precautions that the government took to say, you know what, just stay home, let's be safe. We'll be indoors until 16th of April. So yeah, this is the second week now that we've been home, and we're trying to stay home.
And how is it affecting people? I mean, most of the people are living hand to mouth. They have to work. They have to earn money for every day. Can you say anything about the situation at the moment?
It's really difficult if you're someone who works. Most people are in the informal sector. So you wake up, you sell maybe clothes. So it's really difficult that you have to stay home, because 2 weeks is it's half a month. I mean, it's a long time for you to not do business. And this is affecting the entire world. And Zimbabwe is not an exception. And really do hope this whole situation calms down, because yeah, if you're someone who works day in, day out, you sell clothes today or you sell food today, and that's the money that you're using to buy things next week or next day. Yeah, it's really difficult.
Let's get back to our topic, blockchains and Bitcoin. What are your plans for AfriBlocks in the next months?
We are planning to open a hub here in Harare, and this hub is dedicated on giving freelancers a space to work from. It's also dedicated to helping, because we've had local clients as well. We can meet up, to having workshops, to having basically to create a community of people that we're saying, let's help each other professionally and grow this global network. So if this works locally, we grow into at least one more country this year. But the major thing that we need right now in the short term is jobs. It's people who want to get things done and who can recommend our platform to reach out to more clients. So again, I was saying graphics design, software development, web development, marketing, digital marketing, social media, and all those skills are there on the platform.
Please tell us where people can find your website.
So the website is www.afriblocks.com. So that's AfriBlocks with an S.com. And our email, if you want to reach out to us, it's info@afriblocks.com.
Super. Thank you, Tongayi. Thank you very much for your time and for this interview. And I wish you all the best and stay safe.
All right. Thank you, Anita. Thanks for having us.